What is up guys, Killchain here, and we have this video, Ultimate Season 4 Fury Warrior. Yeah, it's a thing. Annotation in the top right, otherwise in the description down below, there'll be a link. But in this particular video, we're gonna be checking out the all-encompassing absolute S tier of an Outlaw Rogue. So first off, we have the Covenant. What a beautiful blending of the down and dirty trench coat wearing pirate themed Outlaw Rogue and the high class sophistication of the Victorian era vampires. That's right, our Covenant is going to be the Venthyr. Flagellation or flagellation?
Flagellation.
Flagellation, really? They say J? So flagellation, this bad boy will do a little bit of damage, also increase our combo point finisher damage by a small amount as well, and that subsequently increases our haste. Now, everyone's obviously going to run Unity. Unity, as we know, will change the legendary power that we get based on our Covenant, and for the Venthyr Rogue, we obviously get it as Obedience. Now, this will also increase the versatility levels when we do the flagellation combo point spenders as well. So not just haste, increases our versatility as well. In all PvE environments, versatility and crit are our two best options to go for in terms of stats. And the cherry on top is we already have a 1.5 minute cooldown on flagellation, but every combo points we spend during flagellation will reduce it by 1 second. So you can pretty comfortably push it to a reliably 1 minute cooldown, which is very powerful. The other legendary we're going to run, Concealed Blunderbuss. You'll start to get a sense when we look at the tier set as well of really what this whole build is revolving around, which pistol play, definitely. So when Sinister Strike hits the additional time, you have a 40% chance to make the next pistol shot hit an additional 3 times. So 4 times total. Think that's 4 combo points instantly, 4 of the tier set thing we're going to have a look at in 2 seconds time. Very powerful ability. Yeah, a lot of free pistol shots basically. It all wraps up in. As for our tier set, that again, no class is ever not going to have their full tier set at this point. Really easy to obtain if you're doing it as a fresh character. You have so many charges on the creation catalyst, that it's ridiculous. You get Cosmic Flux really easily now just from doing LFRs and dungeons and stuff like that. Quite quick pace of acquisition for Cosmic Flux. Yeah, 4 sets should be very easy to obtain. But let's have a look. So main gauge, which is our mastery, where we proc the offhand hits from our main hand. When that procs, you have a 25% chance to fire another pistol shot. Again, even more auto free pistol shots basically. And then our 4 set really ties it all together. Every pistol shot you do stacks up this hidden mechanic, which is called the hidden bullet. When that hits 6 times, then you will auto cast a Between the Eyes. Which, as you can imagine, when you proc the Concealed Blunderbuss and you've procced 4 pistol shots in a row, that stacks up 4 of those hidden bullets immediately. You get the idea. It really pumps out a lot of pistol damage, basically, whether it's from pistol shot or Between the Eyes. As we know, the cherry on top is that Between the Eyes also increases our critical strike chance against the target by 20%, which means that additionally, whenever you do it Between the Eyes, if that happens to crit, it does 4 times normal damage, which is massive. So you really get a sense of, Between the Eyes auto procs, that it helps increase your critical strike against the target. And then subsequently, that means if you auto proc Between the Eyes again, or just cast it normally, then that has a chance to crit even higher, which means that you do 4 times more damage. Like, it really synchronizes all together. Very powerful, super fun, quite fast paced. So again, if you're used to a Fury Warrior, it's not so bad as per my last video. Whereas if you've done a very slow paced, methodical kind of a DPS player, this will feel a little janky. It'll take a bit of getting used to, but very fun. Future Killchain here, just wanted to touch on that this guide will not be based on any PvP. Unlike the Fury video, where obviously Fury does have quite a prominent place in PvP, not that Outlaw doesn't, but it's kind of vastly still outmatched by Subtlety, and Subtlety literally runs different Covenant, different Conduits, obviously different Soulbind, different Legendaries, different talent setups, different weapons, different enchant. Like, it's quite a lot that's going on, different everything pretty much. So we won't be covering PvP in this Outlaw video, just Mythic Plus and Raids. Back to it! So, talent time. We run Weapon Master, increases the chance that Sinister Strike will proc the pistol shot by an extra 10%, so it brings it up to 45% chance. You can see if I talent out of it, it drops back down to a 35, and then talent into it again, up to 45. So 45% chance, as we saw with our legendaries and the tier set bonus, all synergizes around the pistol shot, so this just having an extra additional chance to give us a half shot double damage pistol shot, very good. Outside of that, acrobatic strikes, super like underappreciated at times. You have no idea how powerful an extra 3 yards on your melee attacks can be. Very handy for a lot of situations, especially when, for example, myself coming from a Fury warrior, I'm a plate wearer, so I sort of take damage kind of well, and I have like some good cooldowns for that, whereas acrobatic strikes allows you to be far more promiscuous with your positioning. You can really like make sure you're moving around to the correct spots, and it gives you a bit more leeway in terms of where you can stand to avoid the bad things like that. Very handy. Deeper stratagem, I don't think there's ever a single rogue loadout that ever doesn't pick up the 6 combo points instead of 5. Cheat Death, no brainer, very powerful PvE talent. Just helps when you kind of make those mistakes a little bit, or just raid wide AoE damage that you can't avoid. It's just a Cheat Death's always very handy. Not too much to comment on in the next row down for the 40 talent point row, but Dirty Tricks is definitely your best pick up here, purely because Gouge and Saps and things will have a place in a PvE environment. Making them no energy is just beneficial, right? If there's ever a point where you need to, you know, peel for a tank for whatever reason in a Mythic class, like it just gives you these options far nicer. Alacrity, cool. Finishing moves, chance per combo point to grant haste. You'll notice that there's actually a lot of haste just naturally given through talents. Passive skill trees, flagellation itself, right? So that's why we don't really care about haste as much. You do get a lot just from your natural kit as running an Outlaw Rogue, so happy days. Lastly, Dancing Steel. So this will be your Mythic Plus loadout or any AoE environment, which to be honest does cover a lot of raid encounters at the moment, but if you did have a pure single target encounter, Blade Rush, boom, literally that's it. In a place where you wouldn't really ever hit your Blade Flurry, because again there's no additional targets to hit, it's just sort of a moot cooldown. Pick up Blade Rush instead. This will just help your energy regeneration and stuff like that as well. Can be handy in an AoE environment, but honestly Dancing Steel definitely edges that out. So yeah, pretty much these are your 2 talent change swaps. Really not much else to complain about that, so yeah, easy. Conduits, literally need to never change them once you've set it up, so very much a set and forget for both Mythic Plus and raiding, as well as single target or AoE, it doesn't matter, these Conduits are your best setup, and same Soulbind as well. So Soulbind we run is Theater. This bad boy gives us the capstone of the party favors, which is almost reminiscent of like the Thistle Tea vibe from OG Rogues, but it gives you a item in your bags. Once you've got it once, you don't need to keep going back to see him or anything. The item just stays in your bags and you consume it. You can consume it every hour, but it gives you a 4-hour buff. So has a chance to be either agility, haste, crit, or verse. Obviously anything but haste is kind of okay, but agility is probably the one you want. So try and be fishing for that. As for the Conduits, Finesse Conduit is the track we go down. Best Finesse Conduit, grappling hook reduction and range increase. Just gives you more mobility around, you know, the raid encounter or in a Mythic Plus dungeon. Cool, happy days. We get Lashing Scars, so very powerful, does additional 4 lashes and more importantly, increased damage by a significant amount. Awesome, happy days. Nimble Fingers, energy cost reduction on Feint and Crimson Vial. Crimson Vial being the heal and Feint being the AoE damage reduction. And I feel like Feint in general is quite underutilized at times. There's always raid mechanics where there'll be some AoE damage done that you have to soak or little things like that. Make sure you're using Feint whenever it's appropriate. As for our Potency Conduit, Count the Odds is massive. Ambush and Dispatch has a chance to grant one of the Roller Bones buffs you don't currently have. So keep that in mind. I'd also note that it does say duration and chance is tripled when you're stealthed. So really powerful for one, the opener, and more importantly, it actually kind of turns Vanish into a DPS cooldown a little bit if you don't need to use it, you know, for panic modes or something like that. But especially in a raid environment, Vanish isn't really going to do too much for you. But yeah, it kind of has an offensive prowess to it now, so cool. Yay. And keep in mind my Conduit level is only 226, so as you get an actual 278 Conduit weapon, that chance is only going to increase higher, and triple the chance of 27% is already 81%, so you're going to get quite close to 100% chance when you're from stealthed that you'll be able to use an ambush to get one of the buffs you don't currently have. And from just my own play experience, even with a 226 Conduit level, yeah, it's not uncommon that you see 2 or 3 buffs of the Roller Bones on you at one given time, so awesome. The next Potency Conduit is just not really that flavorful, but hey, it's just more damage. Sinister Strike has a chance to hit with both weapons when it's procs the additional time, so cool, you'll take it. And for the Endurance Conduit, Recuperator, this bad boy gives the slice and dice on us heal over time. So that's our Conduit setup. Once you got it done, you literally never need to change any of them again, so awesome. To top us all off, quickly running over the gems and enchants and some tips on what to spend your dinar on. The gems definitely get the versatility, easy. As for the enchantments, avoidance for the back piece, well worthwhile for survivability as a rogue. Chest, eternal stats. Wrist, literally not combat related, who cares. Engineering, belt, if you happen to be engineering, nitro boost is probably your best bet. Feet always get the agility, pretty stock standard. As for rings, just like the gems, get the versatility ring enchant. And finally, the weapons, Sinful Revelation and Celestial Guidance, pretty typical for all melee encounters and scenarios for enchantments on your weapons. Couple of things about the dinars though. Again, there's some trinkets and stuff to focus for. The biggest pickup, you immediately need a snipe, especially because we're in the week where you should be able to spend your dinars on your first item. If you don't currently have it, Edge of Night, massive. Although typically you wouldn't have thought a dagger in the offhand is what you'd run as an Outlaw Rogue, but now because of Edge of Night, huge pickup. Definitely spend your dinar on it if you didn't get it from Sanctum of Domination last week. Because remember, again, we're going to be waiting multiple weeks before we get back into SOD. So spend your dinar, Edge of Night, massive pickup, huge damage increase, definitely worth your while. But yeah, and that's all she wrote. Hopefully this rogue guide helped you in some way, shape or form. I've been thoroughly enjoying my rogue as the outlaw for my ult. So the Fury Warrior video, for example, got very well received. Lots of comments and good updates and all that jazz. So hopefully this rogue video is just as good, if not better. Thanks again for watching so much, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.